Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Anderson De Silva and I am here for an exciting video. I haven't done a video like this in a while, but we are in quarantine, so I've done a lot of this, so I figured I'd start this back up again. And this is another episode of my book reviews. Now, I just want to let you guys know, I've been reading quite a bit during this quarantine time, and I got to catch up. This year in 2020, I got to do better with reading, because usually I would say I read about 15 to 20 books a year, but last year I read like 3. 2019 was terrible when it comes to reading books for me. But a few months ago, I got an amazing book from a dear friend of mine, and her name is Erin Snow. Yes, Erin Snow, I've known her for about 10 years, her and her husband. Just a little history about us is about 10 years ago, my wife and I bought our first condo, and then the next building over, she lived in her condo with her and her husband, Tom. And during that time, we got to meet her firstborn, her little daughter that was born at the time, and they were growing out of their little condo, and they moved out, and they move about north of us now here in north of Worcester County. And she has a beautiful family, and just like me, she's an aspiring author. She is a little bit further in her dream than I am, so it's exciting that I know somebody like that who we share the same type of endeavors, we share the same type of dreams. She's a little further. I have released 3 short story ebooks, working on the 4th, but she has released 2 novels. That's right, 2 novels, and I'm still working on my novel, so it's inspiring to see what she's doing. I had the privilege of reading her first novel. It's called Walk With Me. Walk With Me by Erin Snow. So let me tell you a little bit about it and how I'm going to review this as a reader. Obviously, that's how I read most of my books. Don't want to give you guys the impression that I am an author reviewing another author's book, especially since obviously she has more experience than me, where she has 2 novels and I have 0. So it just wouldn't be a fair review. I'm just going to read this as a reader because I have read so many books, and I love fiction, shorts. I love fiction, science fiction, thrillers. I've read a few autobiographies. I have read a couple of self-help books, but fiction is what I really love. That's my definitely my favorite type of books to read, especially ones that are faith-based, because I'm a man of faith myself. So Walk With Me is about it starts off with about 2 therapists. One is like an intern, and she's working under her another therapist who has her own office. And what the cool thing is that it showed a lot of the people that were coming in seeking help from her. The one that was interning was witnessing how she was learning how she was handling a lot of these situations. There was all different types of situations, and the situations that you see today. And it was very interesting and intriguing to see how a therapist of faith handles these type of worldly situations. It was very interesting. It was very inspiring. Definitely taught me some stuff. And it seems to me that Erin did a lot of research with this when it comes to this type of subject. I'm sure this book just made her smarter. It made her smarter because obviously she had to research this type of field to make this book, which is very interesting. Definitely was inspiring. So I love seeing how this therapist of faith handled these type of situations. Now, the thing is, as I was reading this, the first few chapters, it was just going kind of just talking about these different types of situations, how they was handling it. And I was thinking, where is this going? Where am I going? Is it one of these patients was going to be intertwined into the story? Is that how it was going? So I was kind of wondering that, but also it made me read more because obviously I wanted to know where it was going. So then I finally got to see where it was kind of going, where the intern wanted to know more of how the therapist that she was interning under came to be, how she became to be a therapist. And the story was just an amazing story. I loved how Erin put this together and how I don't know where she got inspired of this story. I don't know if it's something that happened in her life, a dear friend of hers that made her think of this story of this therapist and what happened in her life. But what I learned from this, and what everybody will learn from this, is that no matter what happens in your life, you can be a successful person, and while you are successful, you can help other people. And those are the gifts that God gives us, and that's what my brand #living is all about. Plug. Anyways, so that's what I really loved about it. And man, her story is something where, like a lot of us, we make decisions that steer us in a different way that we wanted to. And sometimes when it steers us into this type of path in our life, we think, man, our life is over. But in actuality, it's not. It can be a learning experience, and it can lead us into a life that is better than what we had planned for ourselves. That's what I took up from this story. And that's why I think it's an amazing story. So I would definitely pick up Walk With Me by Erin Snow. And I'm telling you, Erin, you keep writing like this, and if the next book is just as amazing or better, you have a great future as an author. And thank you for sharing this with me, because it's inspiring me to finish my novel. And although my story is a little bit different, but it has the same type of teachings, what I've learned from this book. So keep doing your thing, keep writing. Can't wait to see what else you have next. And I will definitely get into, when I finish reading some of these other books I have, I'm definitely going to get into Erin's next book. So I will put a link below if anybody wants to check out her book. It's definitely an amazing read. I definitely suggest it. It is called Walk With Me by Erin Snow. Pick it up. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Anderson's Book Reviews. We'll see you on the next one.
I be working hard all day, all night. Ain't nobody ever gonna touch my drive. I'm on fire. I'm determined. I'm following my dreams. I'm determined. I'm going broke. Ain't no